Once upon a time, in a world full of ordinary animals, there lived a creature that could easily make you question the laws of physics: the goat. These seemingly harmless, cud-chewing, bearded little animals are not only some of the most underestimated creatures in the animal kingdom, but they also lead lives filled with mischief, mountain climbing, and the occasional act of unintentional heroism. Our story begins on a small farm where the goats, let's call them Ferdinand and Betty, are enjoying their usual day of grazing, but with a twist. Unlike most animals that are content with mere grass, Ferdinand and Betty have an insatiable desire to reach the highest point of anything. Whether it's a boulder, a pile of hay, or in one particularly audacious stunt, the hood of a car, these goats have an uncanny ability to scale almost anything in sight. Betty, the more adventurous of the two, had long been a proponent of mountaineering. She could scale the side of a barn with the grace of a rock climber and the determination of someone late for a flight. Ferdinand, on the other hand, was more methodical. He preferred to take a step back, analyze the situation, and then, with a sense of dignity, leap to the top of whatever Betty was scaling, just to show off. But these acrobatics were not just for fun. Goats, as it turns out, are natural-born climbers. Their hooves are uniquely adapted for gripping rocky, uneven surfaces, allowing them to scramble up cliffs and steep hills with remarkable ease. Their agility comes from their strong, muscular bodies and their ability to leap multiple feet into the air. But the most fascinating aspect of goat climbing is their ability to balance on narrow ledges. It's almost as if they've been secretly trained in tightrope walking by circus performers. Despite their prowess, their climbing adventures are not always as glamorous as they seem. More than once, Ferdinand has been seen standing on top of a precarious pile of rocks, dramatically looking down, only to realize that he has no idea how to get back down. That's when Betty comes in, ever the problem solver. She would casually trot down the side of the mountain, giving Ferdinand a "well, I told you so" glance before turning around to help him find a safer route. But climbing isn't the only thing goats excel at. Their digestive systems are built to handle tough, fibrous plants that many animals wouldn't even look at twice. Goats are what we call browsers, meaning they prefer to munch on shrubs, twigs, and even tree bark. They are natural lawnmowers, capable of clearing overgrown areas with ease, but also surprisingly selective in their dining choices. A goat can sniff out the tastiest foliage, and should you ever see one nibbling at a random tire or an old pair of boots, rest assured that they are simply doing what comes naturally, investigating new, mysterious objects. If it's strange and it smells interesting, the goat will taste it. Nothing is safe. However, goats are not just curious eaters, they're clever creatures too. Their social lives are as complex as any social network on the internet. Goats form close bonds with each other, often relying on a system of bleats, tail wags, and headbutts to communicate. The latter is, of course, their favorite form of communication, particularly when trying to settle who is the alpha of the herd. A good headbutt is all it takes to claim victory and establish one's superiority. Though, the truth is, the goats are much more peaceful than their human counterparts may think. These headbutts are often part of friendly games, like a sort of goat version of tag, and not an indication of deep-seated animosity. Goats also boast some of the most interesting parenting skills in the animal kingdom. A mother goat, called a doe, will typically give birth to twins, though she's fully capable of managing a larger brood. After birth, the kids, yes, that's what baby goats are called, and they're adorable, like tiny balls of fluff with big, curious eyes, will start exploring the world almost immediately. Within hours, they're already hopping around, testing their little legs, and, in some cases, scaling the nearest pile of hay or fence. These kids, though they start small and wobbly, grow up fast and learn from the best. They pick up climbing, eating, and headbutting skills as if they were born with an instruction manual. Which, honestly, they probably were. Of course, the best part of being a goat is the endless opportunities for mischief. There's always a fence to jump, a vegetable garden to destroy, or a dog to tease. Goats have been known to open gates, escape enclosures, and sometimes even wander into neighbors' homes to investigate what's inside. In one particularly famous story, a goat named Monty once slipped into a bakery and ate an entire batch of cookies. The owners were baffled, but Monty? He had no regrets. In the end, the lives of goats are far more intriguing than anyone might have imagined. They are more than just farm animals. They are athletic acrobats, selective eaters, social masterminds, and playful tricksters. They may seem cute and unassuming on the outside, but beneath their furry exteriors is a creature capable of making mountains out of molehills, literally. And, quite honestly, isn't that the essence of what it means to be a goat? So next time you see a goat, don't just assume it's minding its business. It could be plotting its next great escape, or at the very least, eyeing that delicious garden you've worked so hard to maintain. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you have a mischievous goat story of your own? Or maybe a favorite goat fact? Share it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed learning about the wily world of goats, don't forget to subscribe for more tales of quirky creatures, amazing facts, and a dash of humor.